In this video, I am going to show you how to create this beautiful transition animation when you are scrolling through a gallery inside a horizontal pager. Watch this video until the end if you want to learn how to achieve that. Okay, so in this demo project, I'm only using a Coil image loading library to load those images in my application. Now let's open up the main screen. Here, as you can see, I only have one variable that holds all those images that I'm going to load in that application as well. And here I have a simple scaffold in which I'm going to place now a horizontal pager. So let's here now call a horizontal pager composable function. The first parameter is a page count. So for the page count, I'm going to choose the size of those images or the size of this images lists. So let's just press here and type images.size. The second parameter that I'm going to also add here will be the pager state. So let's add here a state. So state equal to pager state. I'm going to just create here that state right there. So pager state equal to remember pager state. Here we also need to add experimental foundation API annotation. Perfect. And here just pass this pager state. Now within this horizontal pager, I need to call async image composable function to actually display those images in this horizontal pager. So as a model here, I'm going to specify image request dot builder. Here I'm going to pass the context, so local context.current. And then on this builder, I'm going to call a data function, and I'm going to pass here that image URL from this actual list. So to grab each and every image from this list, I'm going to use here image as a variable. And then as an index value, I'm going to use this it value, which is referring to the index value of each and every page inside this horizontal pager. We can also rename this lambda to say index. And now it makes more sense. So images, there we go. And also for the content description, we can just write here a simple image. All right, perfect. And the second function, which I'm going to call here, is a build function. There we go. The next parameter which I'm going to pass here to this async image is a content scale. So here I'm going to call a content scale.crop so that basically each and every image can fit to this async image borders, okay? Also, I'm going to here call a modifier and add a couple of different modifiers like fill maximum size so that we can actually fill the maximum size of the parent. I'm going to add here padding values on each and every side to be maybe 16 dp. I'm going to add here a shape to be a rounded corner shape of maybe 16 dp as well. And there we go. For now, that's everything we need for our async image. So now let's run this application for a moment to see how this horizontal pager will actually look like with all those images that we are loading from the URL. Let's open up our, there we go. So that's how it looks like for now. And of course, we can scroll them on the left and right. So for now, everything here looks fine. Now, the next thing that we need to do here, we need to change the size of our image dynamically whenever we scroll through our horizontal pager, okay? And for that purpose, we need to create here a new variable and actually do the calculation for the page offset. So here I'm going to create a new variable named page offset. And then I'm going to here open up the brackets and type a pager state.current page, and then I need to subtract that value with the index value, and then I need to here add that result value to the pager state.current page offset fraction. Now this current page offset fraction basically represents a value from a minus 0.5 to a plus 0.5, okay? So when this current page offset fraction value is minus 0.5, it means that the page is offset towards the start of the layout, and when this value is 0.5 in plus, then this page offset is towards the end of the layout. And when this value is actually 0.0, it means that this actual image is on the center of that layout, which means that it's actually snapped. And I can actually show you how this value actually works. So for example, I'm going to just here log a simple value. I'm going to here call a pager state.current page offset fraction, and we are going to observe that value from our logcat. So let's just open up the logcat. type here a tag. So as you can see here, the first value is a 0. And if I move that on the right side, as you can see, that value will increase, so 0.345. And then we're going to see here minus 0.5, then 0.4, and so on, because we are moving to the next image. And also when we receive this 0.0 value, it means that this image is actually centered and snapped in this horizontal pager, okay? And basically we need to use that same value to calculate the page offset, so that we can actually decrease the size of this image whenever that image is inside the offset. So when this image is going to be snapped, then its size should be the full screen size. Otherwise, its size should be maybe 0.75% or 75%. So you will see how will that work. Let me just here show you that in a moment. The next thing that I'm going to do here, I'm going to create one more variable named image size. And now here I'm going to call actually animate a float as a state. And as a target value here, I'm going to add one calculation. So here I'm going to say if page offset is actually not 0.0. So when this page offset is not 0.0, or when this image is actually not snapped on the center, in that case the size of this image will be 0.75, let's say. And otherwise that value will be 1. And 1 is referring to the full size basically, okay? So here 0 is 0% size and 1 is 100% of the size. And the next thing, I'm going to also specify here the animation specs. So for the animation, I'm going to just specify here a tween. For the duration, I'm going to choose 300 milliseconds. Okay, so now here we have a warning for this get value function. I think that we need to add here one more import. So let's use here Android X, compose, runtime get value, and maybe even a set value. Nevertheless, okay, so now that warning has disappeared. And now this image size needs to be passed dynamically to our async image. Now, since this is actually a float value, it means that we need to here call a different modifier and not a size modifier. So I'm going to call here a graphics layer modifier, right? So here I'm going to modify two different values, scale X and a scale Y. So for both of those properties, I'm going to specify image size as a value. So scale Y is equal to image size. There you go. And now let's try to actually launch this application. So when we are moving this image through our horizontal pager, then this page offset will also change, right? And when this page offset is actually not 0.0, so when this image is not snapped on the center, then the size of that image will be 0.75 or actually 75%, or otherwise when our image is snapped, then it will have a full size. So as you can see, when I now move that, then this page offset will also change, and immediately after that, our image size will change, okay? And there we go. So that's how we can easily change the size of our image whenever we move that through our horizontal pager. Now the last thing that we need to do here, we need to also add that grayscale effect. So whenever our image is not snapped to this horizontal pager, then it will have a grayscale effect, and only after our image has its full size, only then we will be able to see colors of this image. So now let's create that logic. So now in our async image we need to pass one more parameter, which is called color filter. So let's here add a color filter. So color filter, and here we need to choose this color matrix function, and we need to pass this color matrix. So now in order to pass this color matrix, I'm going to create here one more variable, matrix, and I'm going to call here remember, to remember one value across multiple recompositions, and that will be a color matrix. Okay, there we go. And now we can just pass this matrix right here. Now, you might be wondering, how can we actually change the color filter of our async image and apply a grayscale effect? Well, there is one special function for that, and that function is called set to saturation. So I'm going to add here actually one launched effect block so that we can trigger a certain logic whenever the size of our image changes. So as a key here, I'm going to add image size, and then I'm going to say if page offset is not 0.0. So when our image is not snapped on the center, in that case, I'm going to set the saturation of our image to be 0, or basically apply a grayscale effect. So let's here call matrix.set to saturation 0f. And when our page offset is actually 0.0 and our async image is snapped on the center, then I'm going to specify this same function but only a different value of 1. Okay, and now let's launch this application once again. So now this saturation 0 will be applied to all images that do not have this page offset of 0.0. So as you can see, this image has a offset of 0.0, but when we move that, then it will change to a grayscale effect. Okay, and only if that image gets this page offset of 0.0, only then we are going to see the real colors of that same image. And there you go. So that's how we can easily create. And there you go. So that's how we can easily create this wonderful effect of image gallery, and it looks very nice. So that's everything I wanted to share with you in this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And of course, don't forget to like this video, but only if you find it helpful. For this video, that will be all.
I'm a legend when they lay me down to